Hi, it's Michael again from Corona POS. As we near the end of the year and look forward to the next, it's a time for many businesses to reevaluate their budgets and look for some avenues to grow and others to be trimmed. There are always ways to minimize waste and clean up some of your costs. One key thing to consider are prime costs. So let's look at what they are and how to calculate prime costs in retail. Hopefully, you'll come away with a better understanding of this part of your business and learn how to keep costs manageable. Prime costs are simply the sum of all costs that go into running your business. They include all costs of goods sold, also known as COGS, as well as any indirect costs that are needed to keep your business in operation. Prime costs cover a broad spectrum of what it takes to keep a business afloat. As the name suggests, these costs are some of the most important for any business to consider, whether it's in retail, events, restaurants, or otherwise. Monitoring it on its most basic level offers businesses a simple picture of their revenue and profitability. Going more in depth with it can provide invaluable insight into your ordering, staffing, pricing, and more. But what exactly are the costs of goods sold? Any cost of goods sold refers to money that is directly spent on producing what it sells. Calculating your cost of goods sold will determine your gross profit once it's subtracted from total sales. The common items that are included in these costs are labor, materials, manufacturing, and products. Costs of goods sold do not include any costs that indirectly contribute to sales, including insurance, overhead costs, sales, or marketing. For most retail businesses, cost of goods sold will account for the vast majority of your prime costs. So what about calculating prime costs then? Like most retail formulas, calculating the prime cost of something is amazingly simple. The hardest part will be adding up all the costs. First, take all the costs of goods sold and then add all direct labor costs. Then take all sales from the same period in which you calculated the costs. Simply divide costs by the total sales and multiply the total by 100 to get the total percentage of your prime costs. When adding your total labor costs, don't forget to include all salaries, hourly rates, contract work, commissions, health insurance, bonuses, overtime pay, paid leave, payroll taxes, and retirement. And in addition to the cost of your products, when calculating your costs of goods sold, don't forget to include all packaging costs. Okay, now let's look at an actual example of this to better illustrate the concept. We've done similar illustrations in other videos, but again, just as a disclaimer, this example will be very simple, likely far more simple than any of your businesses. But hopefully it illustrates a basic example and process of completing a retail prime cost calculation and analysis. Let's say you own a small liquor and wine shop. You had a record-breaking few months, and now you want to decide if it's worth it to have some team members work overtime or bring on an extra staff member during some of the busier shifts. Start by defining the time frame of your cost analysis. Typically, a larger time frame offers a more accurate portrait, unless you have a seasonal business with large ebbs and flows to sales. Once a time frame is decided upon, let's say April 1st to June 30th for our example, look at the value of your beginning inventory, how much inventory you purchased, and the value of your ending inventory. In this example, let's say total costs of goods sold came out to $250,000 for the 3 months. All hourly labor costs came to $96,000 with another $15,000 in insurance, bonuses, etc. for a total of $110,000 in prime costs. Now look up your total sales. Let's say they were $439,000. Take the total prime costs and divide by the total sales. So $360,000 divided by $439,000, and that's 0.82 or 82%. A healthy prime cost percentage varies widely by industry. This example would be alarmingly high for most retail industries, but again, it's just a hypothetical. So how can you keep your prime costs low? Tracking your prime costs is critical to maintaining a healthy bottom line, and while it shouldn't inspire you to be cheap, it should inspire businesses to cut back on waste. Start by determining what an ideal prime cost would be for your business. As mentioned a minute ago, this is not a one-size-fits-all model and varies across different industries. Having a great starting point and clearly defined goals make the process a whole lot smoother though. Investigate your costs of goods sold and find ways that you can lower them. Don't sacrifice quality, but keep an eye out for inventory changes, bulk purchases, new vendors, areas of waste, and increased efficiency in your POS inventory management system. Try to reduce your labor expenses without cutting staff or hours. Manage your scheduling carefully to be sure that busy times are adequately staffed, but that slower times have fewer people on the clock. Overtime is another easy area to cut back on. Not only will it more likely burn out your best team members, but it'll also drive up your labor costs since you're paying at least 1.5 times the normal rate. And finally, reduce staff turnover. It's remarkably expensive to hire and onboard new staff, and high rates of turnover are bad for overall morale too. To learn more about how your retail POS can help, reach out to us at Corona POS. The powerful reporting makes breaking down your inventory and sales data incredibly easy. And with hundreds of custom KPI reports, you'll have an in-depth picture of your business's performance. Click the link in the description to learn more, and for more retail and small business advice, subscribe to our blog and channel. And if you have any new topic ideas, don't forget to drop them in the comment section. Thanks for watching today.